Welcome back to this channel. For a while now, we have not been hearing from Sunday Igboho. Yeah, Yoruba Nation now. We've not heard from him, but we thank God that he left Benin Republic alive and he landed in Germany. He has not been able to recount what really happened. People said he is not spiritually sound. What does that mean? Like he doesn't have enough charm. They said, look at how they bullied him, look at how they chased him out. There are a lot of things that people have said. For the first time, Sunday Adeyemo Igboho, aka Igboho Osha, he wants to tell you what really happened on that day. Did the Nigerian government employ spiritualists, native doctors, babalawos, Ifa priests? Why did they take the cats? And some of those spiritual failure, like spiritual jacket, bulletproof jacket, and all of that, what really happened on that day? What are the lies that you heard? What was the plan the Nigerian government had? And how powerful is Sunday Igboho? What power does he have? You're about to hear all of this. Now that we have international audience joining us on Justice for Mohbad, some of them might want to know one or two things happening. And this is what is going to prompt me to translate. And of course, there are so many people too in Nigeria who do not speak. Nigeria, we have diverse tongues, languages. So I'm going to translate some of the things that Sunday Igboho said. You will be shocked when you hear goose pimples. You will have that when you hear what Sunday Igboho has to say. What happened on that day? How did he escape out of his home in Oyo State, Ibadan, southwest of Nigeria, down to Benin Republic, and finally landed in Germany? You're about to hear this, but before we proceed, like and share this video, tap on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Let's get right into it.
Airport wọn bẹ ara ń bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ mo ní Àjọkẹ́ ó ní ẹ̀ mo ní ilẹ̀ ń gbóná ó ní kí ló dé mo ló ń ti bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé nǹkan kan fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ ó ní kò sí nǹkan kan so bàtà déwájú mo ní ilẹ̀ ń gbóná mo ní ilẹ̀ ń gbóná ó ní kí ló dé mo lára ń bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ pé nǹkan kan fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ ó ní Àdìsá kò sí nǹkan kan Ọlọ́run ti kó wa yọ mo lọ́lọ́run sí ọ̀dà so mo ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lọ́wọ́ wájú mi gé sàdá dúró báyìí mo ní ara ń fún mi sẹ́yìn ó ní ìfọkàn mi balẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ń bẹ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ èmi ìyàwó rẹ̀ mo wà pẹ̀lú rẹ̀ so bí immigration yẹn ṣe stamp palẹ̀ mi ó stamp palẹ̀ ó ní sí mo rí báyìí mo lọ́lọ́run sí mo ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ lọ tí máa wẹ̀ báyìí àwọn ọlọ́pàá yẹn wọ́n tó 20 wọ́n dé pẹ̀lú bọ̀ àtàǹkọ́ fún mi mo ní wẹ̀yìn Àjọkẹ́ àtọ́ wẹ̀yìn ó ní àwọn rò pé mi ni wọ́n lè mi náà ń bọ̀ àbọ̀ kan wò ọba ní Sunday Igboho wọ́n ní tààrọ̀ wọ́n bá mú pálẹ̀ mi àti wọn kó papọ̀ wọ́n kówé wa àtúntò tó mú wá fún mi wọ́n kó mọ́ pálẹ̀ wọ́n bá mú wa lọ sínú ọ́fíìsì kan wọ́n wá fi wá sínú ọ́fíìsì yẹn ní Àjọkẹ́ ó ní ẹ̀ wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣèdè mo ní mi ò gbọ́ French mo ní English wọn làwọn náà gbọ́ ìka ọ̀gá wa ní pé òun gbọ́ Yorùbá àǹpé pé díẹ̀díẹ̀ ó ní èmi ní Sunday Igboho mo ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó ní ìjọba Nàìjíríà sọ pé mo fẹ́ pín ìlú bí mo fẹ́ pín Nàìjíríà àwọn wá fẹ́ mú mi àwọn ò rí mi mú pé mo wá fẹ́ sá lọ so wọ́n ní káwọn bá wọn mú mi mo wá ní tí Nàìjíríà mú wọn ò rí mi mú èyí sọ fún wọn pé wọ́n mú mi fúnra wọn so ọ̀dà gbogbo tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ọwọ́ Ọlọ́run ló wà níbi tátà jọ ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí ìyàwó mi wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ mi ó ní bàbá ayọ̀ kí ni báyìí mo ní mo gbàdúrà mo ní mo sọ fọ́lọ́run mo ní màá bọ́ ọmọ wọn lọ́wọ́ ń bí nìsín ibi tá a ti jọ ń sọ̀rọ̀ mo ń bẹ lọ́hùn òun náà ń bẹ lọ́hùn mo kẹ́ dìde ni mo wá lọ láàrin wọn mo lọ láàrin gbogbo wọn lọ láàrin kú láàrin sọ̀kalẹ̀ mo tún lọ bọ́ kó lọ́nà ọ̀rẹ́ kó lọ́nà fúnra wọn mo sì lọ rí ẹ mo fóònù mi sápò.
nígbà tẹ́ kúrò ní lẹ́yìn ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ níbo lẹ kọ́kọ́ lọ.
ìgbà tí mo kúrò nílé ńjọ yẹn tí ó di nǹkan bí ọwọ́ ọ̀sán tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń wà panic pé nǹkan gbóhùn mi pé wọ́n ti pa mí kankan mo sọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn BBC English ńjọ yẹn mo jẹ́ kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá káàkiri fọkàn balẹ̀ pé tó àlàáfíà mo wà lẹ́nà mo wá gbọ́dọ̀ yá mi lọ ní Ìgbòho torí ìyá mi mo wé àgbàlagbà ọkùnrin rẹ̀ ò balẹ̀ kò dẹ̀ sí fóònù tó lè fi pè mí mọ́ àwọn èèyàn yìí wọ́n ti kó gbogbo fóònù mi lọ kó gbogbo pàtì mi lọ so wà lọ yọjú sí ìyá mi pẹ̀tọ́ mọ́ mi àlàáfíà mo wà ni wọ́n dẹ̀ dùn wọ́n sunkún mo rẹ̀ wọ́n níbo wà nísìnyí kó lọ mo ló ń lọ báyìí ni mo fẹ́ lọ sinmi pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ mi nílùú òyìnbó títí tí gbogbo nǹkan fi lọlẹ̀ díẹ̀ so mo sì kó lọ́dọ̀ mọ́ mi wọn á gbà lóko tó ń lọ kí n gbàbẹ̀ kọjá lọ mọ́ lọ sí kí n mọ̀ bọ̀ ní Germany bí ń gbà ẹ̀ bó ṣe rí nìyẹn.
ọ̀dọ̀ mọ́ mi ló Germany ibi tá a ti pàdé ìgan rẹ̀ ń bọ̀ nígbà
ọ̀dọ̀ mọ́ mi mo kọ́kọ́ lọ nígbòho.
ǹjẹ́ aláti ẹ̀ ti fi ìgbà kan rò fún yín pé irú nǹkan báyìí kọlù báyìí fẹ́ wáyé ẹ̀ mọ́ ó yára rò fún
alẹ́ ẹjọ́ yẹn ọ̀pọ̀ òdájí tí wọ́n wà lára ń bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ pé nǹkan kan fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ so mo bẹ̀ lọ́hùn ó sì máa gbàdúrà but èmi ò tiẹ̀ wá rò lọ báyìí ìgbà tó dé lóru ó dẹ̀ ń sọ pé èmi ń sọ ara ń sùn mi pé wọ́n sùn o nǹkan kan fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ wọ́n sùn o ọlọ́run ló ní kọ́ mọ́ jojú oorun ni wàhálà ẹ̀ka mi wọ́n táwọn ìbọn láwọn wí mo dúpẹ́ fọlọ́run pé tó ìgbà tí wọ́n dé mi ò sí lójú oorun lọ́dọ̀ mo pariwo mọ́ wọn pé kí ló dé ẹ̀wọ̀n ni ẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn balẹ̀kùn ẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìbọn ọ̀rẹ́ sí pariwo pọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí yìnbọn.
kọ́lọ́run fi ọ̀run kẹ́ àwọn tí wọ́n bá ṣẹlẹ̀ náà lọ àwọn ọmọọṣẹ́ tí wọ́n pa àti dúkìá yín tí wọ́n bàjẹ́ báwo ló ṣe rí lára yín.
mo nígbàgbọ́ pé nígbà tí mo ń bọ̀ látọ̀run mú nǹkan kan wá ọmọ tálákà ni mi ọmọ tálákà ni mi ìgbà tí mo délé ayé ni mo pàdé ìyàwó ni mo bímọ ìgbà tí mo délé ayé ni mo kọ́lé ìgbà tí mo délé ayé ni mo ra mọ́tò so ohun tó dùn mí jù ń bẹ ojú ẹ̀mí àwọn tó bọ́ ẹ̀mí brọ́dà mi àtọ̀rẹ́ mi àdògán yẹn tó kú ohun tó dùn mí jù ń bẹ nìyẹn kọlọmba àwọn tẹwọn mú omijé kò lójú àwọn fámìlì wọn fún mi lé gbogbo dúkìá yẹn tọlọ́run ni a fi ilẹ̀ sáré yìí ni ìgbà tí bàbá wa kọlọ̀fọ̀rùn kan wà ló ti pálá làó kú wọ́n sì lówó tó wọn ò sí wọn mówó àti bàbá wa Abíọ́lá wọn ò sí wọn mówó àbí so gbogbo wọn yẹn ilé ayé la bá bàbá wa òbí wọn ní ayé la bá ayé la ó fi sílẹ̀ sí so gbogbo wọn dúkìá yẹn ọlọ́run ọba tó ní mí tẹ́mi bá sì wà yóò tún ṣe nǹkan tó pọ̀ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ.
oríṣiríṣi àwọn oògùn oríṣiríṣi ìbọn àtàwọn nǹkan àjà táwọn DSS fi hàn lẹ́yìn ìkọlù yẹn ṣé lóòótọ́ ni pé ọ̀dọ̀ yìí ni wọ́n ti gbà.
irọ́ ni wọ́n pa lórí yẹn àwọn ẹ̀mọ̀ péjọba ẹ̀mọ̀ bí wọ́n ṣe máa ń ṣe tí wọ́n bá nígbà tọ́lọ́run ti fẹ̀mí mi lé wọn mọ́ wọ́n wá nǹkan tí wọ́n fẹ́ kó sí mi lẹ́sẹ̀ láti sọ pé tọ̀ nǹkan tá a kó nílé rẹ̀ rí àwọn náà kó bọ̀n wá fúnra wọn àwọn náà ni wọ́n sì kó lọ so àwọn ọ̀nà ọlọ́run kó nǹkan kan báyẹn náà kó nǹkan kan ìjà ogun lé mi àwọn náà kó wá àwọn náà ni wọ́n sì kó nǹkan wọn lọ so mo fà wọ́n fọlọ́run.
ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àhesọ ló wáyé lórí bí wọ́n ṣe mú yín ní orílẹ̀-èdè Benin kí lóhun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ gan-an ẹ bá àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá sọ̀rọ̀ báwo ni ó ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀.
ìgbà tí mo dé Kútọ̀nù lọ́jọ́ yẹn ìyàwó mi Adérọ́pò òun gbé nílùú Jámánì tá a wà yìí Ọlọ́run tí ẹ fún wa ní ọmọ méje ló bí fún mi.
ìyàwó
Rọ́pò ọkùnrin 6 obìnrin 1 ló bí fún mi tó bí fún mi òun gbé nílùú Jámánì tá a wà yìí so òun ló wá wọn á ní kó wá pàdé mi èmi ní German resident gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ nílùú mi wọ́n ti ní tipẹ́ gbogbo ẹ̀ làwọn èèyàn wọ̀nyí àwọn kàyí àwọn aránṣẹ́ Buhari gbogbo ẹ̀ náà kó lọ́nu lé mi wọ́n á ní kó lọ sọ fún ìjọba pé nǹkan bá ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ wọ́n lè fún níwèé mi wọ́n lè fi wá gbé mi òun wá lọ sọ fún wọn wọ́n á fún ní pé nǹkan bá ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ sí ọkọ òun o èmi rẹ̀ dẹ̀ ti Ọlọ́run ti gbẹ̀mí ẹ̀ là lọ́wọ́ wọn so ó wá ti wà nílùú Benin wọ́n fún un níwèé tó wọn lọ fi gbé mi tí ń fi wá pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ wá mú wá fún mi so fẹ́ mọ kọjá lọ.
ìgbàwé mi gan wá fún yín.
ó ti gbàwé mi wá fún mi tí ń fi kọjá so bá a ṣe wá dé airport wọn bẹ̀ ara ń bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ mo ní Àjọkẹ́ mo ní ilẹ̀ ń gbóná ó ní kí ló dé mo ló ń ti bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé nǹkan kan fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ ó ní kò sí nǹkan kan so bàtà déwájú mi
ẹ̀yin ilẹ̀ ń gbóná
mo ní ilẹ̀ ń gbóná ó ní kí ló dé mo lára ń bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ pé nǹkan kan fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ ó ní Àdìsá kò sí nǹkan kan Ọlọ́run ti kó wa yọ mo lọ́lọ́run sí i so mo ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lọ́wọ́ ajú mi gé sàdá dúró báyìí mo ní ara ń fún mi sẹ́yìn ó ní ìfọkàn mi balẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ń bẹ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ èmi ìyàwó rẹ̀ mo wà pẹ̀lú rẹ̀ so bí immigration ṣe stamp pálí mi ó stamp pálí oníṣẹ́ mo rí báyìí mo lọ sí mo ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ tí máa wẹ̀yìn báyìí àwọn ọlọ́pàá yẹn wọ́n tó 20 wọ́n dé pẹ̀lú gun àtàǹkọ́ fún mi mo ní wẹ̀yìn Àjọkẹ́ àtọ́ wẹ̀yìn ó ní àwọn rò pé wọ́n lè mi nọ́mbà àbọ̀pọ̀ wò ọba ní Sunday Igboho wọ́n ní kàlọ́ wọ́n bá mú pálí mi àti wọn kó papọ̀ wọ́n kówé wa àtúntò tó mú wá fún mi wọ́n kó mọ́ pálí ẹ̀ wọ́n bá mú wa lọ sínú ọ́fíìsì kan wọ́n wá fi wá sínú ọ́fíìsì yẹn ní Àjọkẹ́ ó ní yẹn wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣèdè mo ní mi ò gbọ́ French mo ní English wọn làwọn náà gbọ́ ìka ọ̀gá wa ní pé òun gbọ́ Yorùbá àǹpé pé díẹ̀díẹ̀ ó ní èmi ní Sunday Igboho mo ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó ní ìjọba Nàìjíríà sọ pé mo fẹ́ pín ìlú bí mo fẹ́ pín Nàìjíríà àwọn wá fẹ́ mú mi àwọn ò rí mi mú pé mo wá fẹ́ sá lọ so wọ́n ní káwọn bá wọn mú mi wọ́n á ní ní Nàìjíríà mo ò rí mi mú ẹ̀yìn sọ fún wọn pé wọ́n mú mi fúnra wọn so ọ̀dà gbogbo tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ọwọ́ Ọlọ́run ló wà níbi tátà jọ ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí ìyàwó mi wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ mi ó ní bàbá ayọ̀ kí ni báyìí mo ní mo gbàdúrà mo ní mo sọ fọ́lọ́run mo ní màá bọ́ ọmọ ọlọ́run bí nìsín ibi tá a ti jọ ń sọ̀rọ̀ mo ń bẹ lọ́hùn òun náà ń bẹ lọ́hùn mo kẹ́ dìde ni mo wá lọ láàrin wọn mo lọ láàrin gbogbo wọn lọ láàrin kú láàrin mo sọ̀kalẹ̀ mo tún ní kó kó lọ́nà ọ̀rẹ́ kó lọ́nà fúnra wọn mo sì lọ nìyẹn mo mú fóònù mi sápò mo ti wá lọ ó tó bí ó ti fẹ́ tó wákàtí 4 èmi ni mo pé gbogbo àwọn bàbá kí tó yìí bẹ̀ sí pé gbogbo àwọn èèyàn pé nǹkan bá ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ o
lẹ́yìn ìgbà tẹ́ kúrò láàrin
wọn tán so ìgbà tó wọn rí mi mọ́ airport dàrú bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí wàhálà mo lọ gbà báwo ló ṣe lọ wọ́n de handcuff mọ́ ìyàwó mi lọ́wọ́ wọ́n de handcuff mọ́ wọn pé kò tètè gbé fóònù yẹn wọ́n wá rí pé fóònù ẹ̀ ń dún wọn ní kò gbé bó ṣe gbé wọn á ní Àjọkẹ́ ó ní ẹ̀ mo ní tí n bá bí yes or no ni o olókè mo ní kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ kò dáhùn mo náà ti mú ẹ̀ ó ní yes mo ní ṣé kí n mọ̀ bọ̀ ó ní no mo á ní tí n bá wà ta ló fi sọ àwọn ọmọ ní sófin yẹn sọ àwọn ọmọ ní Germany ni ó ní no mo ní ṣé kí n mọ̀ bọ̀ ó ní no yé mo bọ̀ arábìnrin ó ní no sẹ́ ó ní tí wọ́n bá ti rí mi wọ́n fòun lẹ̀ mo lọ́dà tó bá ń tó bí 20 ìṣẹ́jú tí mi bá rí ẹ̀ màá tó pè ẹ́ o ìgbà tí mo tún pè ó sì wà ń bẹ̀ mo ní mò ń bọ̀ ó ní kí n mọ̀ wá ní kẹ́ mọ̀ wá so ó ní gbogbo ohun tí mò ń sọ wọ́n ń gbọ́ mi ò dá lómi lọ́pàá fò mọ́ létí mi kí mọ̀ wá kẹ̀ ẹni mọ̀ pé ìlú èbó ń bì tó bá di jọ́ kínní tí wọn ò ráwọn mọ́ léwe jọ́ kejì jọ́ kẹta àwọn sósì àwọn aká àwọn ẹnu rẹ̀ mo sì padà wá bá nìyẹn ìgbà tí mo dé inú rẹ̀ dùn ó bínú wọ́n dẹ̀ dé lọ́wọ́ bí mo sì yọ sí wọn ní airport yẹn ẹ̀rù bà wọ́n 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 bá sáré dé handcuff mọ́ mi lọ́wọ́ mo ní ẹ tú handcuff fọwọ́ ìyàwó mi wọn ò tú wọ́n dè mọ́ lọ́wọ́ wọ́n nítorí pé mo escape mọ́ àwọn lọ́wọ́ wọ́n ní Nàìjíríà gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì náà ti sọ fáwọn tẹ́lẹ̀ pé bí mo ti kó nulé ní Nàìjíríà ọ̀yá wọ́n dẹ̀ fi hàn àwọn náà mi báyìí so àwọn onítù wọ́n dè mí lọ́wọ́ dè mí lẹ́sẹ̀ dè gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n tún fáwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan dè mí àti ìyàwó mi pọ̀ wọ́n sá rọ mi sínú mọ́ wọ́n fẹ́ bọ́ ní mọ́bọ̀ mi lójú wọ́n á rọ àsínú mọ́tò àgbé dénú mọ́tò yẹn wọ́n á ìyàwó mi ó sunkún ó ní mọ̀dẹ̀ ní ẹ mọ̀ wá wọ́n ní tí ń bá wá ṣé ń fi ọ́lẹ̀ pẹ̀lú wọn wọ́n mi kan yóò ti ń pọ̀ lọ́n lọ́mọ àìsábà mọ̀ ikú bá dé torí wọ́n ṣe ń gbé wa lọ ọ̀dọ̀ Buhari náà ń gbé mi lọ Buhari ṣe ìran mi àwọn Fúlàní tí mo ní kọ́ mọ́ pààrọ̀ wa mọ́ tí mo ní kọ́ mọ́ boko àwọn bàbá mi jẹ́ mọ́ àwọn nìran rẹ̀ ó lè torí gbogbo nǹkan báyìí ọgbẹ̀mí mi ibi báyìí ni wèlé wa ibi báyìí ni nǹkan báyìí wa ọba bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sunkún mo ní mo sunkún Àjọkẹ́ mo sunkún fọkàn rẹ̀ balẹ̀ so nígbà tá à ń lọ wọ́n ti gbé mi lọ wọ́n fẹ́ débi ìsẹ̀mẹ̀ wọ́n gbà kọ́ọ̀lù wọ́n bá tọ̀nù padà wọ́n bá tó ń gbé wa lọ bí kan wọ́n sá lọ gbé mi lọ sínú ọ́fíìsì kan wọ́n níbẹ̀ ni criminal police eye ọmọbìnrin yẹn ìyàwó mi ó lóun fẹ́ tọ̀ wọ́n ní kọ́ mọ́tò sára wọ́n túlẹ̀ wọ́n fi mi sínú sẹ́ẹ̀lì kan báyìí wọ́n fòun síbi kan àwọn wòra wa lọ́kàkà so bí ọjọ́ 7 ni wọ́n fi dè mí lọ́wọ́ mẹ́yà tẹ̀sẹ̀ mẹ́yà tí n bá fẹ́ yàgbẹ́ wọ́n lọ mọ́kùnrin kan wá òun náà bá mi bọ́ sókòtò wọ́n ní kí n yàgbẹ́ òun náà nùdí fún mi ìyàwó mi a máa sunkún ni wọ́n sunkún wọn àṣàdúpẹ́ fọlọ́run àdúpẹ́ fọlọ́run àdúpẹ́ fọlọ́run.
nígbà tó kẹ́ ẹ máa lọ báwo ló ṣe rí lára yìí tí wọ́n ní àwọn ti tú ilẹ̀ ní orílẹ̀-èdè Benin o báwo ló ṣe rí lára yìí.
ó ṣe mọ̀ pé ìlú Benin ni mo wà tí ìyá mi fi kú. Jẹ́ nǹkan tó bà mí nínú jẹ́. Ìyá méjì ò kì í bíyàn. Mo mọ̀ ná pé kádàrá Ọlọ́run ni gbogbo nǹkan láyé, àsìkò mọ́ mi tó ni. Ṣùgbọ́n tí nǹkan yẹn ò bá ṣẹlẹ̀, ó ṣe é ṣe kó jẹ́ pé ọwọ́ mi ní ó kù sí tí ó bá tiẹ̀ kú. So ìyẹn jẹ́ kó dùn mí gidigidi. Ó dùn mí nítorí pé mọ̀mọ́ mi fẹ́ràn mi gan. Ó dùn mí, kò dẹ̀ ṣàìsàn. Ohun tó sọ fún mi ni pé Sunday, mo ní mọ̀mí, ó ní kí ló tún ṣe ń Benin? Mo ní, ó ní ṣé bó sọ pé tí bàbá Bọ́lá Tinubu yẹn tó bá ti gbàjọba, wọ́n fi ẹ́ lẹ̀ ni. Mo ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mọ̀mí. Ó ní kí ló tún wá ń ṣe ń bẹ̀? Mo ní mi ò mọ̀. Wọ́n ṣe pé gbogbo nǹkan Ọlọ́run ló wà. Ó ní bí tí mo mọ̀ yẹn tí ó lè gbé òun lọ bá bàbá Tinubu yẹn pé òun lọ sunkún sí wọn lọ́rùn ni. Ó ní mi ò mọ̀ ẹnì kankan mọ́ mi, ẹ sá máa gbàdúrà. Ó ní but tá a bá wá mọ̀ yẹn, ṣe bí tóun bá lọ bọ́ lọ́hùn, tóun lọ fẹjọ́ wọn sọ lọ́hùn, ṣe bọ́ lọ́hùn lè bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀. Mo ní mọ̀mí wọn ò jọ lọ́hùn lọ, lọ́dà. Ó ní wọ́n dẹ̀ lọ bọ́ lọ́hùn. Wọ́n lọ bọ́ lọ́hùn. Èrò ọkàn mi ni kó fẹ́ lọ sí church. Wọ́n á ní ẹ mọ́tò mọ́ lọ bá àwọn aládùúrà tó ń rìn nìyẹn. Wọ́n kàn mọ́ tó ń gbé ilé mi gbóni àgbàlagbà ara yín. Wọ́n kàn jẹ́ fún pààyàn ga ni o. Mọ̀mí ni ó ní olè yé mọ́lẹ̀ lílọ ọ̀dọ̀ pásítọ̀ wa ní ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì kẹ lọ bá wọn. Bọ̀ pé ẹ mọ́ ọmọ lọ yajúlé àwọn pásítọ̀ kiri, wọ́n kàn mọ́ gbé ilé mi gbóná ni. Ó ti yé òun, ó ní kí mi sá mọ̀ wò ń tèmi. Ó nígbà mo sọ pé wọn ò lágbára jọ lọ́hùn lọ. Ó ní wọn lọ fẹjọ́ wọn sọ lọ́hùn, ó wá kú ńjọ́ kejì. So ó wá kú, ìgbà tó kú, President ta ló pè mí, ó kẹ́dùn pẹ̀lú mi. Ó ní àwọn yìí pé inú mi ò dùn mọ́ níbẹ̀ ni. Ó ní ṣùgbọ́n tó, ó ní kí n jẹ́ ká nígbàgbọ́ pé gbogbo nǹkan láyé tọ́lọ́run ni. Ó lóun ò ṣebi fún mi, òun ní kóun ó ṣàbò fún mi náà ni. Ó ní so fún díẹ̀ yìí, ó ní òun fi mí lẹ̀ kí n máa lọ síbi tó bá wù mí.
So lẹ́yìn ikú màmá gan-an náà tó wá gbéṣẹ́ kó lórí.
tí ìyá mi kú náà fi mí lẹ̀ pé kí n máa lọ. Ní July 26 wọ́n pè mí ní president yẹn ní kí n máa lọ. Mo wá ní sí, ó ní kí n jọ kí n má bínú, bí mo lè máa lọ ibi tó bá wù mí. Àwọn ọ̀dà ìṣe o. Ọ̀nà dé. So wọ́n dẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí yìnbọn títí tí wọ́n fi wọnú létí mi. Torí pé wọ́n ti surround gbogbo inú ilé yẹn. Fẹ́ǹsì mi yẹn dẹ̀ ga. Then mo tún wá ní fence wire lórí ẹ̀. So then mo ní kámẹ́rà lólé bí wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe tó ń surround ilé, mò ń wò wọ́n nínú CCTV kámẹ́rà. Ìgbà tó wá yá mo jágbe mọ́ pé ẹ̀yin wo nìyẹn? Ẹ̀yin wo lẹ́ ń surround ilé yẹn? Wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀. Ohun tí mo rí ni pé wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí yìnbọn títí tí wọ́n fi wá yin kankan lu géètì mẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ tí géètì yẹn já wọnúlé. So mo rí pé wọ́n múra wá gan. Débi pé ìbọn ba bulletproof ọ̀dẹ̀ ń wọlé. Ìrírú ẹ̀rí láyé mi. Ìṣekúpani àwọn Fúlàní nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, wọ́n ṣe ń pa àwọn èèyàn wa, àwọn bàbá wa, àwọn brọ́dà wa lé wọn lọ́nà oko, jíjí gbé, atrocity, gbogbo wàhálà àwọn Fúlàní yẹn tó wá di pé wọ́n fi wá pa brọ́dà mi Fatai Aborode nílùú Gàngàn. Ìròyìn yẹn ló kàn mí lára tó mú mi dìde pé kí ni tó le tó báyìí. Àwa Yorùbá ń ṣe gbogbo nǹkan báyìí ní ilẹ̀ Haúsá lọ́dọ̀ wọn bẹ́ẹ̀. Gbọmọgbọmọ àwọn Fúlàní tí wàá pọ̀ jù, pàápàá jùlọ lókè Ògùn. Ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ state ni mí, ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ni mí, ọmọ Ìgbòho ni mí ní orí local government. Ìgàngàn, ìlú Gàngàn yìí ó ní ọdún tí mo fi ń kó tòkun gbọ̀gbà bẹ̀, tí mo dẹ̀ láwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ń bẹ̀, láwọn brọ́dà ń bẹ̀ lóríṣiríṣi. Pàápàá jùlọ bọ̀dá bàtà yìí, àjọ ní ọdún tá a fi jọ wà lọ́dọ̀ Senator Rasheed Ariwolu Ládọjà. So nígbà tí mo wá gbọ́ pọ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n yẹn, ó jẹ́ nǹkan tó bà mí nínú jẹ́, tí mo fi òdí nìyẹn tí mo fi dìde láti lọ tó pé ó tó bẹ́ẹ̀ fún àwọn Fúlàní nílẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Ẹ ṣé. Kí ni ohun tẹ́ lè sọ pé ó jẹ́ ìrírí yín nígbà tẹ́ dìde láti kojú àwọn Fúlàní òkè Ògùn?
Ìrírí pọ̀ ń bẹ. Ìgbà tí mo dìde náà ló di pé ìjọba Buhari náà gbógun tì mí. Wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí threatening mi. Wọ́n kọ́kọ́ fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí threatening mi. Wọ́n threatening mi lọ́nà tó pọ̀ gan. A mú ni, a ṣe gbá ni. So wọ́n fa wàhálà pẹ̀lú mi púpọ̀. Ó tó di pé wọ́n á padà wá ká mi mọ́lé tí wọ́n fi pa brọ́dà mi, tí wọ́n pa ọ̀rẹ́ mi, bà gbogbo dúkìá mi jẹ́. Tó fi wá di pé wọ́n lé mi kúrò nínú ìlú ìpínlẹ̀ Yorùbá. Mo kó nílé kúnlẹ̀ Yorùbá tí mo fi wá di èrò ará èèyàn òdì. mo fi wá dé ìlú Germany lónìí.
Nígbà náà, nígbà tẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjàǹgbara, ǹjẹ́ rí àtìlẹ́yìn àwọn ìjọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá nígbà náà?
Ṣé mọ̀, ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ńgbà yẹn, Ẹnjìnìà Olúṣèyí Mákindé, wọn ò lè dá sí púpọ̀ jù. Ṣé mọ̀ pé àkọ́kọ́ àwọn nìkan ni wọ́n jẹ́ PDP nílẹ̀ Yorùbá nígbà yẹn. Then gómìnà sí ohun tí ò fi lè dá sí púpọ̀ ni pé Àbújá la ti ń gbowó, abẹ́ Fúlàní ni a wà, Fúlàní sì ni president. So tí gómìnà yìí bá dá sí púpọ̀, wọ́n á gbógun tì í, wọ́n á dẹ̀ wọ́n á dàjọba ẹ̀ láàmú. So bó bá tiẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan abẹ́lẹ̀ ni yóò ti mọ ṣe. So tó bá tiẹ̀ ní nǹkan kan tó fẹ́ ṣe, tó bá ní ìrànlọ́wọ́ tí gómìnà sì fẹ́ ṣe fún mi ńgbà yẹn, abẹ́lẹ̀ ló ti lè ṣe. Tó bá ní kó ń sọ̀rọ̀ jù, Buhari máa dàjọba ẹ̀ láàmú. So ìdí nìyí tí mo fi wò wípé gómìnà Ṣèyí kò ṣe nǹkan tí ò dá sí mi rárá. Kò ṣe nǹkan tí ò dá sí mi. Ọ̀dọ̀ ó gbìyànjú lábẹ́lẹ̀ láti rán ẹ̀sìn pé kí n fọgbọ́n ṣe o, tí mo mọ̀ pé òun nìkan ní PDP nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́, òun ọ̀dẹ̀ lè ṣe jù. Tó ń bá ṣe jù, Buhari ó kọjú ìjà sóhun. So mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ Olúwaṣèyí Mákindé dáadáa.
Ṣé ká kúkú wá sọ pé òkè ògùn tẹ́ ló fà á bí àwọn DSS ṣe wá ka yín mọ́lé lọ́jọ́ sí ni, àbí nǹkan kan ti wà láàrin ẹ̀yin pẹ̀lú ìjọba tẹ́lẹ̀ tí aráàlú ò mọ̀?
Kò sí nǹkan kan láàrin mi àti ìjọba Buhari. Òkè ògùn tí mo lọ láti lọ gbèjà àwọn ọ̀ràn mi pé bí wọ́n ṣe ń pa wá ti tó, wọ́n ṣe ń ba dúkìá àwọn bàbá wa jẹ́, tí wọ́n jẹ́ káwọn àgbẹ̀ lè lóko mọ́, tí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí rẹ́pù àwọn fámìlì wa. Wọ́n tí Buhari fi ní gan lọ ká mi mọ́lé, gan lọ pa mí dànù náà ni.
Welcome back. Well, the struggle for disintegration of Nigeria did not start today. In fact, it resulted into civil war that lasted for some couple of years. That was sometimes 1969, 1970, 71, 72. It led into a lot of lives lost. That is the Biafran story, the Biafran war. Well, the drums of separation has not stopped. It is still beating loud and clear. There are certain criminals, politicians, who run and hide. They run helter-skelter. When they cannot get their way with their opponent, they run and hide under politics. Under disintegration, under Yoruba nation, Biafra nation, this nation, Igbo nation, whatever nation. They run under this struggle. Yeah, they do. Now, let's go into the account of Sunday Igboho, what he recounted, what happened. He said they came prepared. They came prepared. That they came physically and spiritually prepared. They know who they are going to. And they might probably not know. They just felt like this man talks and talks and talks and talks. Probably there is some powers that he thinks he has. So they themselves, before coming over, they went visiting those that are custodian of powers. Like, look, this guy is not only bragging that he can shoot at people, he's not only bragging this and that. What does he have? What can they say? This, they checked and looked at him and said, oh, this is the source of what he has. This is the foundation of what he has. This is this is that. And money changed hand. And those spirits, unfortunately, for some people who do not know, they are not loyal to anybody. They're only interested in the highest bidder. Well, if you are lucky and the covenant you have with them is respected, good. This world is full of mystery. Anyway, he said they came prepared, and that he himself, he escaped sometimes, I think around that 1 a.m., that he went, round what he could. He did what he could do. Now, some are saying, did Sunday Igboho disappear, like physically disappear? Yes, it's possible for people to disappear. And also, people often can disappear physically. What I mean by physically, I mean they find a way, they break the roof, they jump over the fence. There is a pathway that they've created already should such happen. Some people have hidden bunkers in their houses. They have tunnel, something like that. So he already had all of these things mapped out. He knows that this could happen, and he found a way to get out. Now, what brought this up? How did Sunday Igboho come to limelight? Apart from the local ethnic issue back then, Mudakeke War, or let us say, is it war? Well, we can call it Mudakeke riot. Back then, that's what brought Sunday Igboho into limelight. Then his father was alive. Now, Sunday Igboho continued in whatever it is that he does. He protected politicians, they pay him. He acted like personal security to some of them, like governors. He did many of these things. And he became more popular. He had his own, he has his own military, like let's just say military. He has his own security outfit that does this thing. Now came the issue of aliens. I call them aliens. Fulani herdsmen, as they are called. Some of them might not even be Fulani, but we want to call them Fulani because they came in more because the president back then, Buhari, is a Fulani man. And he is so senseless when he speaks. And definitely this prompted these Fulanis to come in. Some of them don't even speak the language. They don't speak Fulani language. They don't speak the Fula. They all came in, thronging in from Mali, Gambia, Senegal, Guinea Conakry, just wherever you can find herdsmen. They all came into Nigeria. They didn't come in to rear cattle alone. They came in as bandits. They joined the local bandits up north Nigeria. Not just that alone, they also partook in kidnapping for ransom and kidnapping to sell body parts. It was so bad. It was so bad. This lasted for 7 years. 7 years. It lasted that long. It was so bad. You can be kidnapped anywhere. People could not travel. It was so bad. And this is what prompted Sunday Igboho to say, you know what, enough is enough. If our governors cannot, even though they came up with some local outfit to combat this, since they cannot, he decided to face some of these herdsmen. He chased out 1 or 2 or 3 who have engaged in kidnapping or are now the informant. He did a lot of things and people applauded him like, it's okay. Yeah, you're a great man. He did many of these things. And the day Sunday Igboho said, we do not want one Nigeria anymore, the Nigerian government jumped into it like, oh, we've got something to tie this guy down. Now, who betrayed Sunday Igboho? Did someone internal betray Sunday Igboho? That is something that you might not find out now. Did they just observe him, like monitor him normally? What else does he have inside of his arsenal? Is there something? Well, here we are today. Sunday Igboho is in Benin Republic. He went to Benin Republic, down to Germany. Same thing happened to the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. He is right in the custody of the DSS. He was unlucky. He got manipulated. They set a trap for him with a woman. And this woman didn't just come with, I have my front and back. She came with money. Yes, came with money. And they were to meet in Kenya. He went without security. He went alone to speak to the woman. And he was arrested. In fact, let me use the word kidnapped. Extraordinary rendition. And when he opened his eyes, he saw himself in Nigeria. They finished it up. Now, Sunday Igboho should learn from this. The Nigerian government, they do not want anyone saying break Nigeria apart. No, it doesn't make sense to them. The bigger the country, the more they can put people in poverty, depression, the more they can use the population. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Sunday Igboho should learn from that. Don't ever, ever step into any African country. Do not. If you do, The same that was done to, although I don't know if Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be a bit, but you know how these things work. The people who are kinsmen or tribesmen of Nnamdi Kanu, they were the financier of the extraordinary rendition of the kidnap of Nnamdi Kanu. So you know how these things work. People with vested interest. Well, I'm sure he knows these things.
He knows how vicious those people can be. But somehow, it seems Sunday Igboho sort of found solace in the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He believes that Buhari is not from his tribe, obviously. And what I mean by believe, he knows fully that Buhari can be more vicious than Bola Ahmed Tinubu. At least Bola Ahmed Tinubu will have this sense of tribe or something like that. That is his own thought. But you know, most of these politicians, they care less about who is from who and who is from that. But I think it is true that Buhari will act more vicious. He will care less. He will not think about it twice. To him, who is this Yoruba guy? Who is this Yoruba man? And him being a northerner, being a Fulani, and moreover, not even really, I mean, they sort of dominated the north of Nigeria. I'm talking about the Fulani tribe. I think they're about 10% of the northern population. And being that majority of them joined the army, and somehow they know how to connect each other. They know how to network each other. That's why some of them have become a problem. They've become a problem wherever it is that they go to. They do not add value, like really add value to that particular part. That is the reason why Sunday Igboho came out at first, like, no, enough is enough. I'm not going to allow you guys take the life of my people. I mean, to me, I'm kind of looking at it this way. There is this big plot by certain groups of people in the northern part of Nigeria to make the south of Nigeria redundant agriculturally. If you cannot provide your food, you will have to rely on the north. North provides basically, or let's say majority of the food that the south eats. You see how terrible it is, see how bad it is. If there is a strike or something in the northern part of Nigeria, oftentimes we see the effect in the south of Nigeria. So they have a kind of, they know how to do their check and balance. You know what? Let us make the south of Nigeria, the southwest, the southeast of Nigeria, let us make it a place that no one can go to the farm. Apart from, people being discouraged, they want to do some other things than stay in the farm and all of that. How can you be in the farm when it is not safe? Now, let us be fair. If you go to the northern part of Nigeria too, if you don't pay tax to those bandits, to those terrorists, to those wicked, evil, politically sponsored and religiously, shrouded individuals, if you don't pay to them, you cannot even go to your farm. You have to pay to sow. You have to go to check your farm products. You have to, you just have to do all of these things. If you want to harvest, you have to pay in the northern part of Nigeria. Governors at times, in fact, majority of the governors are not in charge of their state as per the citizens of that country. It is this bandit, these terrorists that are in charge. And they twist and spin the narrative. If you try to find out the cause of this banditry and terrorism in the northern part of Nigeria, you'll be shocked at what you'll be discovering. You will find the fingers of politicians in it. You will find the fingers of the so-called religious clerics in the northern part of Nigeria. If the people in the south were told that one day you will not be able to go to your farms, one day you will not be able to apply move around your region, your part, without being afraid of being kidnapped. Now, I'm not telling you that kidnapping started from the north or the northerners started it. No, it's something that is generally found all over Nigeria. In the southeast of Nigeria, we saw multiple kidnapping and not done by northerners. Immediately northerners saw this wicked, evil enterprise, they jumped into it and they became masters of it till date. Although it has reduced a little bit. It has reduced a little bit. A little. Look at a particular part that was sacked recently. Look at the news. The same repetition of the same thing done here and there. This is what Sunday Igboho looked at and said, look, I am not going to keep quiet and allow my people to be taken out. I'm not going to keep quiet and allow my people to be snuffed out like this. When he started, they didn't say much. They were watchful. They were watching him. They were spying on him. They kept, kind of, whenever there is a citizen arrest, once they are handed over to the police, you see the same person released, because there is a call from Oga at the top. There is a call from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. There is a call from this. There is a call from that. That's how they operate. So it got people angry. Like, hold on, you mean when we hand over these criminals, someone that has done terrible, heinous crime to the police, the person gets released later? Wow. If that is the case, then we have to do what we have to do for ourselves. And now, the structure of Nigeria, the way Nigeria is structured politically, governors do not really have much power per se. Any governor that wants to, they will deal with that governor. At that time, things were so hard. Things were so bad. It was so bad. So bad. And Sunday Igboho decided to sacrifice. He did, as you can see, sacrifice a lot. Sacrifice all that he has acquired. Now, some are saying, well, somehow what you got yourself, you acquired it by politicians who have oppressed other people. There are a lot of things that people are saying as regards that. I think he has time to be sober. He has taken a lot of, time off the scene to reflect, to see. It is not easy. It is not easy. Not at all. Particularly if you are the only one. Look at some other countries where they have splinter cells of freedom fighters, or those who say we want this, we want that. That country is never okay. Why? Because the power and might is always with the useless government. They have the backing. They are the one that is recognized, and they keep on and on. At the end of the day, you will find rogue freedom fighters sporting out here and there, hijacking. This is what people are afraid of. Like, hold on a second. If we turn this to a full scale, don't you think that it will become, these people have private jet, they will just fly out. They will run out of Nigeria. And that's the end of it. They will run out of Nigeria. They fly out with their kids. You are the ones that will be faced. And there's something about such, once the spirit begins, that fever of war begins, or whatever it is that is going to come up, it doesn't really stop easy until a lot of people have lost their lives. Sunday Igboho has really sacrificed a lot. He has really done a lot. All for what? For people who cannot protect themselves to go to their farms freely, travel without being afraid of being kidnapped. Well, there are thousands, and I think, of Sunday Igboho out there, or people who are ready to stand up and say, look, my mother should be able to move around freely without being afraid of being taken down by one Fulani or alien. I call them alien because at times you wonder who these people are. You see, that's just what it is. Soon someone will say, my grandmother at her age should not be molested by one dirty cow lover. Someone who can mate with a cow. It's as bad as that. It's as terrible as that. You find someone who lives abroad. He comes into Nigeria. He wants to invest, and all of a sudden, someone comes, snuff his life. How can other people be encouraged to come back? That Buhari's era was so bad. They said, they are just putting out all of this as if these things have not been there because Buhari is a full animal there. Yes, it is true that these things, narrative could be spun here and there and magnified because they need to demonize or rubbish the government of that person. Yes, oppositions do these things. But the truth is that people felt the brunt of it. They felt the pain of it. Buhari was so useless for the betterment of the people. It was only useful to continue to push the dominance or the scavenging of his own people for that period of time. They did what they did. It was so bad. What do you think about Sunday Igboho's speech, what he has said, his experience, and what happened to him? Drop your comment, like, and share. See you in the next update.